When it comes to making an at-home pizza, you gotta make a lot of decisions. You have to pick dough, sauce, cheese, toppings, garnish, and how all of that's gonna come together. Some ingredients will lead you to ruin, while others will lead you to the perfect pizza. I'm Joshua Weissman, and this is every decision I'd make to make the perfect at-home pizza. Let's talk about dough. A great pizza dough is chewy, it has a nice salt level, it's nicely colored, and it's bubbly. We have a lot of doughs here. Let's see, we have a cauliflower. It smells like a saltine cracker. There's no salt, it's not chewy, and there's no flavor in it whatsoever. All right, next up we have Bob's Red Mill. Look, I love Bob, he's a good guy. Another gluten-free pizza crust. It tears like a shortbread almost. There's just not enough salt in this, there's not much flavor to it, there's zero chew. There's almost like a gummy, slimy quality to it, and it's obviously from the gluten-free flours. Look, not everybody can eat gluten, and I respect that, and I understand it, but it's just not the same. Trader Joe's, gotta respect it. This looks kind of like pita. It even has a pocket, hello. This is a big step in the right direction. It's still a little dry, but not as dry. This is closer to pita than it is a pizza dough. A pizza dough, to me, has like almost a salty, creamy quality while you're chewing it that this just doesn't have. Market Pantry. I've never in my life ever eaten one of these. And boy, am I not excited. Holy fudge. Yeah. We could stop there. It's a tortilla vibe. The worst tasting dough I've ever put in my mouth. It's got like a vinegary quality to it. Super dry. Zero salt. It has so many additives that are made to stabilize this thing and keep it good for years. I'm sure that this is great in a nuclear fallout, but not right now. Now, moving on to Pillsbury Doughboy. Childhood nostalgia. If you know, you know. It smells like Pillsbury Doughboy crust. Oh, okay. It tastes exactly like their biscuits. Oh, it's burning my mouth a little bit. Is that normal? You can literally taste the leaveners in it. There's about 5 different kinds of oils and fats in here. You don't even need fat or oil in a pizza dough. Frankly, you don't want to take away from the nice flavor of good toasted bread. Frozen pizza dough. The frozen pizza dough, I don't know what brand this is the closest in taste to what I want. Again, it's missing a little bit of the salt that I want, but that's an execution thing. They could just add more salt to the dough and it would be where I want it. That being said, it's too dense. These are all pre-made. If I were to pick one, it would be a resounding win for the frozen dough. Now this is a homemade dough. The salt I wanted. Even in comparison to the frozen dough, the homemade dough wins by a landslide. It's just like a much more diverse experience. The outside is super lacy, thin, crispy, but the inside is chewy. It's got a nice pull and a stretch when you bite it. Let me show you how to make it. Flour, salt, water, and yeast. That's it. So that means that every ingredient counts. Get the best 00 type flour you can get, and ideally the highest quality water. Evian tends to work really well, especially with a sourdough, high mineral content, right? Yeast, whisk that in until it's dissolved. 00 type flour, fine sea salt. We're gonna pour all of our yeast water into there and stir. All right, so now you can see the flour starting to hydrate. It's turning into more of a dough. Slap, fold, just until it starts to soften up a bit, and then we're gonna let it rest covered for 15 minutes. All right, we're rested, softened up a little. You hear that? And we're gonna do more slapping and folding. We're gonna grease our bowl lightly with olive oil. This is just to keep it from sticking. Get it coated in the oil. Now we're gonna wrap it in plastic wrap because it's gonna take a little nap in the fridge overnight for 12 to 14 hours, crucial for flavor and texture. Okay, it's been overnight. Get it loosened, and you have a dough. This is gonna get divided into 5 pieces, which should be around 250 grams each. For one corner, the other corner, and again, corner, corner. We're gonna fold over, and we're gonna lightly do the exact same thing that we did earlier. And eventually, it looks like this. So we're gonna cover these and let them proof for 3 to 4 hours. Our dough is done. Wow, it's glossy, it's beautiful, it's smooth, it's perfect. This is the perfect dough to make a pizza. Next, let's talk toppings. What makes a good pizza topping? For 1, it should not overpower the pizza. For 2, it should add good flavor. For 3, it should add good texture. And 4, you know, not optional, it should be fun. Look, I know it's a big debate, but I'm a big fan of pineapple on pizza. Salty sweet, the acidity helps cut the richness, it's good. Now, this isn't going on my perfect pizza because my perfect pizza is very classical and highly simple. Black olives. I hate black olives on a pizza. It's more of like a watery, salty, briny taste and doesn't really contribute much. Anchovies. These make a great sauce. They're salty, they're briny, there's umami. I would never put it on this pizza because, well, a lot of people don't like anchovies. I wanna make a pizza that everybody could enjoy. Next, I'm guessing this is Italian sausage. It's a little too rich. It's very fatty. It makes the pizza a little too oily for my taste. Now, spinach, okay? We're making a pizza, not a garden salad. Typically, you would see this on a white pizza, and that's not what my perfect pizza is. Now, mushrooms. I don't really love them on a pizza, but mushrooms are a little too boring. I think the texture would pull away from what makes my perfect pizza. Now, the perfect topping for a perfect pizza would be pepperoni. We have a natural, properly aged pepperoni, and we have pre-sliced from the store. You tell me what you want. This tastes like, well, mass manufactured vinegary meat, but this has like so many other things. It's funky, it's almost borderline cheesy, it's just more flavorful. The properly aged pepperoni is what I would choose. I cut these slightly thicker because when this bakes, it's gonna curl up into a nice cup and hold pepperoni fat in it. Oh no, there's like a poorly sliced one I have to eat. I'm gonna set this other half aside. This should be enough pepperoni for one pizza. My choice is hand-sliced proper pepperoni. Now let's talk sauce. A good pizza sauce needs to be flavorful, not too watery, and have a good color. So this is Rao's or Rao's sauce. They have a pizza and a marinara. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this is probably the same, but we're gonna find out. I mean, there's a pretty clear difference. The pizza sauce, not a fan. It's got too much of a Chuck E. Cheese vibe. Dried oregano. It feels like a fake pizza sauce when you do that. It's also a lot sweeter and less salty. I don't think this is gonna contribute the right flavor we want for this pizza. This, on the other hand, it's saltier, it's got a little bit of acidity, and it's more plain in its flavor, but in a good way. It lets the tomato shine. I don't mind it, but we need more tomato flavor. Now, since we're on tomato sauce, let's talk Prego. Hate. It smells like a foot. Way too sweet. You can barely taste the tomato, the ketchup of pizza sauce. We got another Rao's. I'm a fan of the brand. I've never had their Alfredo, though. That's awful. This tastes nothing of cheese. Even if it was good, a white pizza sauce does not belong on my perfect pizza. All right, pesto. Pesto tastes good. But you know, I do feel like a pesto pizza for some reason is a specialty pizza. It's not an OG pizza. Not everybody's gonna be in the mood for this, but the one I'm making, everyone will be. If you don't have time to make your own sauce, I would go with this. But for my perfect pizza, we're gonna make the sauce from scratch. We have a little bit of our pepperoni that's been diced that's gonna go in the pan. You can see already immediately the red streaks, and that's what I want. Sliced garlic and a little bit red Fresno chili for a little bit of spice and a little bit of pepperiness. Now we add our crushed San Marzano Italian tomatoes. A little bit of salt to taste, tiny pinch of sugar just to curb the acidity, and we're gonna simmer this and cook it down until lightly thickened, about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so this is reduced down. Now we're gonna add a touch of extra virgin olive oil. And now the sauce is ready. Really fresh, high quality, straight tomato flavor, but it's cooked, it's not raw tomato. It's everything that I want for my perfect pizza. Now for my favorite part, cheese. When it comes to cheese, there's really 3 things: cheese pull, texture, and of course, flavor. Okay, so let's first talk mozzarella. We have 3 variations of our mozzarella. First, burrata. Okay, it's very soft. You cut into it, it's creamy, it's smooth, it's very rather liquidy. And while it's nice, it's gonna take away too much from this pizza. I don't want this on my pizza. This is a specialty pizza item. Next, we have our fresh mozzarella. Now, while it's nice, it's a little bit softer. You can see that it kind of tears a little bit. If you were to wring this out, there would be literal liquid dripping from it, which is cool, but it doesn't quite lend itself to as toothsome of a cheese as I want. I don't think that it's gonna work on this pizza in particular. And finally, we have our low moisture mozzarella. It's the exact same concept as this, but the difference is it's extremely dense. It's got a nice toothsomeness, and it's gonna be able to retain its strength once it's been baked at the highest possible temperature in your oven. It'll still have that texture we want. Cheddar. I'm not sure I've ever seen a scenario where cheddar did a good thing for a pizza. We already have a flavor in our mind of what a pizza should be, and the sharpness of a cheddar just doesn't make sense. Provolone is a sandwich cheese. A sandwich-inspired pizza is a specialty pizza. This is a classical pizza. Now, on to ricotta. I think ricotta's fun on a pizza, but honestly, I don't really like ricotta on a pizza. It just kind of adds a little bit of texture, but it's too quiet. It's not rich enough. It's not fun enough. Monterey Jack. Now, this feels like it might be a provolone scenario. It almost borderline is, but it makes the most incredible cheese pulls. I mean, it looks beautiful, and also just watching it pull away as you're eating your pizza, it's an experience. Now, Parmigiano Reggiano, this is the most flavorful thing on this entire board by 100x. So perfect for this pizza. Monterey Jack for the perfect cheese pull. Low moisture mozzarella for the perfect texture. And Parmigiano Reggiano for maximized flavor. These three will work together to create the perfect pizza cheese. And now, garnishes. A great garnish doesn't need to be cooked, it doesn't overpower the other ingredients, and of course, it adds flavorful intrigue. First, let's talk about arugula. I think most people would add this for some sort of a spicy note, and if you want to add something spicy, maybe like pick an actual spicy ingredient like a pepper. Now, let's talk about ranch. You know, if I was 13 years old, this would be good. Well, I think a homemade ranch could be good on a pizza. On a perfect pizza, no, it does not add, it overpowers. Let's talk hot sauce. This is not just spicy. It's also acidic, and I don't want any more acidity on this pizza. It's level and it's already balanced. Kraft grated Parmesan cheese. This is like mostly potato starch or like wood chips or something. I would never use this at all. Balsamic glaze. It's so overpowering. All you're gonna taste is balsamic glaze, and that ruins all of our hard work. Now, a lot of pizza places are gonna give you dry oregano and crushed red pepper flakes. The only way you're gonna get the true flavor of these is if you somehow manage to actually chew on them in your mouth, which is pretty unlikely with all the other stuff that's going on in there. It's a distraction. Chives. Big fan of fresh chives on a pizza. It adds a light oniony flavor and it lifts the flavor. Somehow it brings all the flavors together. I like this one. Basil. Yes, it's herbaceous. Yes, it's fresh. But somehow, it is arguably one of the most iconic ingredients in pizza known to man. I love it in a pizza. Last, hot honey. I love hot honey on a pizza. It's not gonna overpower the flavor. It's gonna come together to create a harmonious flavor that's a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet, but it's not taking away from what we worked hard on. I'm gonna say yes to this. My final choices are hot honey, fresh basil, and fresh sliced chives. Finally, we're gonna put it all together. We're building this on a pizza peel. I have a mix of all-purpose flour and cornmeal to help this slide around on the pan. There's a lot of ways to shape a pizza. I think the easiest way is to work it around your knuckles, let gravity kind of do the work for the first bit, and then stretch and turn, stretch and turn. That's what they do at Domino's. Sauce goes in the center, not too much. Use the back end of your spoon. Now, a little bit of our Monterey Jack, mozzarella in equal portions, and then just a little bit of Parmigiano for the flavor. That's gonna go all over. And finally, pepperoni. And our pizza is ready for the oven. Our pizza stone has been preheating with the oven at its maximum temperature. You need this hot. In a pizza oven, you're normally cooking it at like 700 degrees. Your at-home oven's not gonna do that, so get as close as you can. Let it preheat for an hour, and then this goes in. Our pizza is done. Before we eat this, we garnish it, right? Basil leaves, our chives, our hot honey. And now we taste. This is everything I want in a pizza. The dough's salty, it's chewy. I immediately get a crisp bottom, but a nice soft cushy top. The sauce doesn't overpower it, but I immediately get that nice vibrant tomato flavor, the fragrance from the herbs on top, a little bit of spiciness in the sauce and spiciness in the pepperoni. Balance this pizza out. A nice hot honey. These are all the elements that make my perfect pizza, but everybody's gonna have their own opinion, that's fine. But I would really advise that you give this one a shot.